When I was 10 years old, my grandmother died of cancer.
And since that day, I vowed to make a change. And I think I have. Let me show you how.
So what are some of the problems with traditional cancer diagnosis?
For one, it's very labor intense, so histopathologists have to spend a lot of time analyzing tumor samples and figure out whether they're malignant or benign. Because it's so labor intense, it's also really expensive, and that's a bad thing for cancer patients. And lastly, it's really slow. Because it's such a labor intense process, the time it takes to actually get a diagnosis is simply inefficient. So we don't need any of these problems, and the solution to that is automated tumor classification with deep learning. So I've created a convolutional neural network that looks at samples of tumors and classifies them into malignant and benign, and further subcategories of adenomas and carcinomas.
So before we could feed the images of tumors through a script, we first have to normalize them. So before we had this, we threw it into a MATLAB script, and then we get this, which is a much better and more defined image. So now I'm going to show you how my program works in action. So we're actually going to run the convolutional neural network on one of these test images that the program has never seen before, and let's take a look at what the results are. So to do so, let's test the program on this image of malignant ductal carcinoma. So let's quickly move over to the terminal, where I already have the command written out. So we're just going to enter mdc.jpg, which stands for malignant ductal carcinoma, and let's see what the results are. So as you can see, it successfully classified the image as malignant ductal carcinoma, and it's important to note that the network has never seen this image before. So it's been pretty successful thus far, and I hope my application can be used in cancer diagnosis successfully too.
My name is Varun Menon, and I use deep learning to solve problems.